not replace them, but relocate them, basically. So instead of hiring a new person to do a job that you didn't have the time to do, now you can automate that with AI and take this person and do that job.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of B2B e-commerce integrated. So today we have in the show Frank Quezada from Dextra, a company called Dextra, and he's the managing director. So welcome, Frank.
Hi, everyone. How are you guys?
You have customers in B2B on e-commerce. I believe most of them are let's say hardware stores, for example, or suppliers for hardware goods. So what kind of challenges are they having, or how do we solve them, and what is the benefits of integration related to that?
Well, the challenges are the new processes that you have to implement. For example, when you don't have an e-commerce site, you don't have pictures of your items, right? Now you have to have good quality pictures to add to the items. And that can be, sounds simple, but introducing that process to a store can be very hard. Another thing is that one of the main advantages of having your solution connected to the ERP is that you can forget about having to update two different systems, right? Now you create the item on the ERP, and that goes to the e-commerce. When you introduce the pictures, goes to the e-commerce. The prices you can update them as on the fly, right? When you receive the notice of a vendor that they will increase the cost, you can do that very quickly, right? You don't have to rely on someone that might do a mistake or commit a mistake, or that just forgot to do it. So, and when you receive that order in the e-commerce, and that goes to your back office system, and you can start looking for the items to in the warehouse to send them to the customer. You definitely, it is way faster and more accurate. Those are, I would say, the main benefits that.
No, definitely.
Transactions that can take hours are not done in minutes.
Yes. So actually avoiding big investments in taking the right approach is and then the right approach is then making sure that you integrate the systems to have that perfect convenient place for the B2B buyers is something interesting.
Sometimes, and that's what we've seen here in the Dominican Republic, sometimes takes more time to integrate than to start using the e-commerce. You can start using e-commerce in a few weeks, but maybe doing the integration with the back office system can take months.
Yes,
and a lot of money.
So that's why it's good to avoid that big investment and choose a solution that can do that out of the box. Indeed. Yeah. So also I want to talk about what we say here. How important is it to think about, let's say, ERP first when implementing a B2B e-commerce solution, and what to take it in consideration when doing so, right? So maybe some advice you're giving to your customers how to configure it. Or
well, let's put it this way: when you are doing an e-commerce, you need a vendor that can integrate, that already has the integration with your solution, right? Let's say that you need an ERP and you find a developer that is willing to build an accounting system from zero. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because there are many good accounting systems. So there are many good e-commerce solutions, but there are only a few e-commerce solutions that can integrate to your system. So that's basically what you should look for. Okay?
Understood.
Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. And talking a little bit where we were talking about in the beginning. So besides of the logistic challenges that you have maybe in Latam or in the Dominican Republic, what about payment? How do you deal that in Latam or in Dominican Republic?
Well, that's another challenge, right? We don't have that challenge here in the Dominican Republic because um, we we have we have many banks here, but all the banks work through a payment integrator, and we have three.
Okay.
So when you integrate that with that payment vendor, you can work with with any bank in the country. Okay, so that makes it very easy. So you can integrate your e-commerce with one of these payment integrators that is certified, that will give you the peace of mind that you are not going to be your information is not going to be stolen when you are doing the transaction. So that is that is something that is very, very important for the consumer to be able to have that peace of mind.
Understood. And internationally, so other countries in Latam, if you want to do business there as well?
The challenges that we found is that in some countries they don't work with a payment integrator. So you have to work directly with the bank of the customer, and each bank has its own way of working. So there is not a standard. So every time I'm working with this bank. Oh, okay, I don't have that integration with that bank, so I have to make it from zero, right? And that all obviously at cost. So when you go to a customer and say, okay, I have this integration with bank X, but I work with bank C, then I have to uh, I have to make that integration from zero, and it will cost the customer more. It will add another layer of cost, right? To have to receive that customer experience, or to provide that customer experience that we are looking for.
Yeah, so that's a challenge indeed. So there are no other solutions then, I think, than just to go, if you're having that international ambition in Latin, that you need to, just support at least as many as possible. Maybe credit card, of course, payment, then you can handle some, but not everybody has a credit card, of course. But the local payment methods per country, that is a long game to play, right? You need to really select and implement. That maybe explains why there are so many different payment service providers or different payment methods to support in the Latin American market, at least from a product perspective. From Sana, we understand support quite a big variety of them for the Latin American market.
Yes. Let me share with you this case study, because we have customers that are hardware stores, because they have their own e-commerce site. Now, people from in the United States can buy items for their families here in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow.
It's because they have the site, they can pay online, and they can deliver here locally.
Nice. Totally logical, right? So if you want to send something, or want to give something, or want to create something, then that is perfectly possible. And in terms of currency, so any complexity there related to currency in your country or in Latin in general?
Well, in the Dominican Republic, obviously, we need to work in the local currency, but the payment vendors make the transition. You can sell in US dollars, and they can pay you either in US dollars or in Dominican pesos. So there's no issue with that. Okay. So we can have an e-commerce site that, depending on who is logging in, we can have different prices to each member.
Yes.
Okay, or you simply can see the prices in Dominican pesos, but when you are going to pay with your card that is in US dollars, the vendor will automatically make the exchange.